Hey there, Chuck. I was just wondering if you knew where the materials that we were going to use for the meeting were? I see some of it in the documents here, but this isn't everything. Do you happen to have the rest of them? What the heck do you think you're doing messaging me at this time, huh? You think I climbed this high in the corporate ladder so that I could have some nobody bothering me after work hours? What materials are you even talking about? I am talking about the things that we need for the meeting that we're going to be having tomorrow. I thought that our department head assigned you to get those ready for tomorrow, didn't she? Oh, those documents. I think the ones that you're talking about, I know. I just figured that since the meeting isn't going to be until the afternoon, that I could wait until tomorrow morning to get the rest of them done. No, hold on a second. You were going to wait until tomorrow to get all those documents done? Don't you remember that we got the memo from the headquarters saying that they wanted to move the meeting from tomorrow afternoon to 10 in the morning? Wait, what? When was this? I don't remember any memo going out about changing the meeting time. But Chuck, you were the one that forwarded us all of that when it came through. Don't you remember doing that? Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? I don't remember anything of the sort. But you even told us that in the same email that you were going to make the materials ahead of schedule and you were going to get them done so that we can review them before the meeting. Did I really say that? I don't have the slightest memory about any of that. Well, there was even the bit in the memo where we could respond and that we had all seen it and marked them as read as well. But is this really true? I don't remember doing any of this at all. Chuck, you seriously need to go back to the office and finish up all these documents right away? Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You're my subordinate. You should do it all. Hold on a minute, you're really gonna give me all the work just because you were leaving to do them at the last minute? That's right, I'm your boss and I have a right to distribute work as I see fit. So now it's your problem and not mine. Look, Chuck, I'm really sorry, but I've got to make materials for another meeting, so I have my hands full with that. If you're really making materials for one, then surely you should be able to handle making enough for two. That's hardly even more work for you at that point. Well, I just think that it's gonna take me a lot of time to get everything done in time. You really are a lazy guy, you know that. When I first heard that we were hiring someone with only a high school diploma, I was wondering what the higher-ups would be thinking. But now I see that my first impression of you was right. You have no idea what you're talking about at all, so let me make this very clear to you. You will do what I say when I say it. You know that you can't just treat the employees like this, right? I mean, you're not being fair at all. No, I am being more than fair right now. In fact, I'm giving you special training so that you'll become an even better employee. That is why you're gonna do the work that I give to you, and you're gonna be thankful for the opportunity to prove yourself to me. Anyways, I'm just getting home right now, so make sure you have everything done by tomorrow, got it? Chuck, wait, you can't do this. Hey, George, are you there? I just heard the big news. Is it true that you really got married? I had no idea that you were even dating anyone. Hello, Chuck. Are you wanting to know more about my marriage? Well, I just heard about it from the first time from someone in the office when we were in the break room together. I really didn't know that you were about to get married. Well, I was, and am now, I guess. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? Is it true that when you got married, you also bought a house at the same time? Actually, we haven't bought anything yet, but we are already talking about buying a home for the two of us, yes. Now that my wife and I are married, we have a lot of big decisions to make about our future. I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that some loser who can only have a high school diploma can afford to get married and is thinking about buying a house? You really have got some nerve, you know that? I mean, just who do you think you are? You think you're better than me or something? Here we go again. I just mean that if you're married, then your wife must be a bit of a weirdo, too. If this lady thinks it's a good idea to marry someone in your position, then you're either lying to her, or there's something wrong with her, too. Maybe you're just with her because she's all messed up and does crazy stuff in the bedroom. Is that why you two are married? Chuck, I don't care at all what you have to say to me. You can insult me and put me down all you want. But I draw the line at you saying anything that vulgar about my wife, do you understand me? Excuse me? Just who do you think you're talking to like that? You seriously have got some nerve. I just want to make something clear with you, Chuck. The reason that I wasn't able to go to college after I finished high school was because my dad died. My family didn't have the money to send me to college after that. I had to work to help take care of the rest of my family. So I really appreciate it if you would stop talking to me as if you know my life or what I've gone through before I got here, okay? Because not only is it rude, but it's also against the rules of how you can treat people in the office. As a department supervisor, you need to choose your words more carefully, and think about what the boss should and shouldn't be saying in the office. Just who in the world do you think you are, telling me how I can and can't talk in the office, huh? Do you think you're the boss around here? Who died and made you the compliance officer for the whole office? Well, I don't think that anyone died, but you are right that I have been selected as this year's compliance officer. Wait, are you serious? You're really the CEO for the office this year? That's right. Anyways, I got a meeting with our department heads to attend to and some clients, so I gotta leave now. Hold on just one second. Are you telling me that you're working directly with the department heads? But you can't just skip over me and work with her. What the heck is going on here? How is someone who doesn't even have a college degree like you doing this, huh? I want to be there too. You tell me where you all are right now. If you want to go look at the office schedule board, all this should already be written there in a very clear way to understand, manager. I'll be going straight home after this, however, so I really do have to get going right now. Hey, we're not through here! Don't you run away from me, I still have things I gotta ask you!
Hey there, George. I just wanted to let you know that I think you did a really great job today. It seems to me like you've been making some real great improvements ever since you started working there.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're saying that. And I certainly didn't expect to be treated to Lucy's cooking after we finished work.
Well, she was really hoping to get to do that with you, actually. I told her that we were going to be working together, and then you were going home after a meeting. But when I told her, she told me to invite you over for dinner instead. She was so excited that she told me that she was going to go out right away and buy something to cook for us to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. It really does mean so much to me.
Well, I'm not the one that you should be saying thanks to, you know?
You're right. Please tell Lucy how grateful I am for her thinking about me like that. Tell her the dinner was delicious.
Of course, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sorry to be asking you to work a little tomorrow even though it's Saturday.
You mean about seeing you off at the train station? I can do that, no problem. You wanted me to pick you up and take you over at about 8 in the morning, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, George, do you really live in a place like this? I really can't believe it. I was really surprised when you told me the company made you the compliance officer. I thought it meant that you were in there with some of the bigwigs here. And you have a place like this, too. I have to say that I'm actually just a bit impressed by this. I mean, I never would have guessed you to have a place like this, but it doesn't change the fact that you still don't even have a degree from a university. You're still a no one. You really must think that just because you have this job that you can try and get a leg up on everyone, huh? Well, just know that I'll never let you forget who you really are. Hey there, George, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a really great barbecue. I was gonna invite you to it as well, but I heard that you were going to be out of town doing something. Hello there, Chuck. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, actually. What is this about? Oh, I didn't tell ya. I was gonna be having a little barbecue party, and I was thinking of inviting you, but I guess you weren't here to be able to enjoy it. Well, yeah, I did have something to do this morning, but it's not like I'm out of town or anything like that. I'm actually already home right now. Oh man, this meat is good, and you're not gonna get to eat any of it. Okay. You enjoy that, I guess, Chuck. Hey George, you still there? I got something to tell you about right now, so answer me as soon as you get this message, okay? Hello again, Chuck? Yeah, I normally don't hear anything from you this often when it's the weekend, so what is it this time? Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I was having a barbecue at your house and there was a fire. Wait, what? A fire? You had a fire at your barbecue party? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm actually going home, but I was having the barbecue party at your house, so anyways, good luck putting that fire out. I'm gonna come back once the fire is put out to get all my supplies that I brought over, but you might want to deal with the fire going on in your lawn, bro. Hold on just 1 second, Chuck. Wait, you're telling me that you don't actually live in a house? Like, you live in an apartment? Yeah, I have an apartment room on the 3rd floor of my building, actually. So I'm not really sure what you mean when you say that you were having a barbecue at my house, much less my lawn. Hold on a second. What do you mean? Are you serious about all this? I am. Did you even bother calling the fire department about any of this? No, I was gonna leave it all to you, actually. Well, you better call them right now, because wherever you are, that isn't my house. No, Cecile, well, what an honor it is getting a message straight from you. It isn't every day that I hear from you. Please tell me what I can do for you. To what do I owe the honor?
I was just wanting to talk to you about this business with you, trying to start a fire at the house of one of our employees?
Oh, that, right, of course. Well, the one thing I was trying to do was pull a prank on George, and I think I went kind of a little wrong. He told me that I could have a barbecue at his house if I wanted to, but then he gave me the wrong address, so anyway, I ended up going to the wrong house, and I guess you know the rest from there.
Right, well, that so-called wrong house was actually my house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? That was your house?
That's right, it was my house, and I wouldn't have minded as much if there was just a little bit of damage. But the thing is that the fire spread to my prize-winning rose garden and completely destroyed it.
So, it really was your house then? You really mean that?
That's right. It was my house. And I just want you to know that I'm going over the damage that you've caused. Not only to the roses, but to my garden in general, as well as a tree that was designated as historic by the city. So just know that I'm going to be charging you for all of that.
You're really gonna make me pay for all that? Are you serious? How could you do this to me? You never told me the house that you were sending me to was Cecile's. I didn't send you anything, although I did hear from one of Cecile's neighbors that they weren't able to put out the fire in time, that they did remember talking to you. They told me that you told them that you had permission from Cecile to do what you were doing. You're honestly lucky that your fire didn't end up burning the whole house down, you know that? I mean, did you really do all that just because you thought that it was my house? But, I mean, you told me that, you just got married and had gotten a new house, so I thought that I would go and check out what the new house was that you were living in. And that's why I was saying that I was really surprised about your house. I had no idea how a little nobody like you could afford such an amazing place with a perfect yard like that! I see. So basically you're saying that you thought that Cecile's house was actually mine? But, I mean, I saw you go up to this house after you finished up with work the other day. So how is it that you don't live there? Are you talking about a couple of days ago, when I went home from work that day? That's right. I just happened to see your car while I was out, and so I got into mine, and I thought that I would follow you home so I could make fun of where you lived. And then when you arrived, there was some pretty lady that came outside to greet you, so I was sure that you must have been, where you were living with your wife. Well, I don't know what else to say, but that's not my house, and that is not where I live with my wife. But how can that be? What did I even see then? You do remember that I told you that I was talking with my wife about where we were gonna live, right? I told you that we were still talking about where our house was gonna be. Did you really say that to me? I don't remember that at all. Are you sure that's what you told me about where you and your wife would be living? That's right. I'm sure that I told you that my wife and I hadn't decided on where we were gonna live yet. I'm sure that if you scroll up throughout our other conversations that you will say that I told you just that much as well. But then, I don't understand. Why were you going to Cecile's house then? Well, that would be because after I finished work the other day, I was invited there by Cecile, if you must know. And the other person who came out to greet me was actually Cecile's daughter, my wife. You're kidding me! That's right, so basically you thought that my mother-in-law's house was my house because my wife is still living there while we settled on a good place to move to. But then, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen now? That sounds like something that's gonna be settled between you and Cecile. In the end, Chuck was fired. Not only was his out-of-work conduct considered unacceptable, but HR acted on the many reports of his non-compliance with office rules that I made. I imagine that he was probably charged with some kind of mix of breaking and entering and arson, but I never really asked Cecile what she did after Chuck was fired. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.